to Room 120 News, your place to find out everything that's going on in our school and in our classroom this week. Well, Happy New Year to you and welcome back to school. I hope that you've enjoyed the break that the holiday provided us, and I hope that you were able to get some rest and relaxation in, along with all the fun festivities. We're excited to be back at school for the second half of the school year. We will be hitting the ground running on Monday morning with our curriculum. So please make all efforts to make sure that your child comes to school every day on time for the remainder of the school year. All parts of the school year are important, but the latter part of the school year is super important. So I just ask that you please make an effort to make sure that your child is on time and present at school so that they don't miss anything. Also, please make sure that you're completing the fluency homework each night and completing or signing the homework contract so that you're aware of all of the things that are happening in our classroom. We're doing a really fun project that I did last year that I loved so much. It's called Hearts Across America. So every year, my class tries to collect Valentine's Day cards from all 50 states. So there's going to be a Class Dojo post coming out tonight, and I just ask that you share that on all of your social media platforms so you can save the graphic and copy the caption directly and just share that on any social media platform that you have so that we can get that out and get that to as many states as possible. If you know someone in particular that lives in a state, be sure to send it directly to them and see if they're willing to help us out. Last year we were able to get 48 out of 50 states, and this year I would love to try to get Valentine's for our class from all 50 states. This week, we're excited to celebrate a superhero of the week in our classroom, and this week, we're excited to celebrate Joshua. Joshua is this week's superhero of the week because he exemplifies owning his learning in our classroom. He works so hard on all of his assignments and often wants to go above and beyond. So, for example, before the break, he wanted to write Christmas cards to all of his family members instead of watching the movie during our class celebration on the last day before the break. So we cannot wait to celebrate Joshua this week in our classroom as a superhero of the week. Up next is Looking Ahead, where you will hear some very important dates and things that are going to be happening in our school and in our classroom. On January the 13th, our middle of the year reading and math assessments can begin. I probably will not start on that date, but we'll probably start that week. So just be aware that your child may be tested any point during that week until the end of the month, and then we'll be setting up middle of the year conferences after that to review the data and the growth that your child is making. The end of the second 9 weeks is going to be on Friday, January the 17th. And so just make sure that that's on your calendar. There's nothing really big going on that day. It's just going to be the end of the grading period. Mark your calendars for January the 20th. It's a Monday. We will be out of school. The whole school will be closed in observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And then the next day, Tuesday, January the 21st, will be a teacher work day. So there will be no school for students. And then finally, that same week, on January the 22nd, report cards will be going home with your child. So there will be an attestation form for you to sign after you get the report card. And then finally, that week, there's a lot going on that week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and actually Thursday. On Thursday, the 23rd, we're going on a county-wide sponsored field trip to the Pied Piper Theater at Thalian Hall. There'll be more information and permission slip coming home with you soon on that, but parents will not be allowed to chaperone that field trip as it is a county-wide field trip for all first and second graders, so there's really no room for additional chaperones. Up next is Curriculum Corner, where you will hear all the things that your child is going to learn in the classroom this week. Our attendance fact for the week is that North Carolina law states that every child between the ages of 7 and 16 shall attend a public school continuously for the entire school year. If a child is under the age of 7 and enrolled in a public school in grades kindergarten through second grade, they must follow the same legislation as students between the ages of 7 and 16. So please just make all efforts, as mentioned earlier, that your child is at school and on time every day. In math this week, we're continuing to work with our Eureka Math curriculum, and we're actually finishing Unit 2 this week and reviewing for the assessment that will take place next week. So students will be learning different strategies and reviewing different strategies for addition and subtraction. In Foundations, we're beginning Unit 8 this week, so the Unit 8 at Home Support Packet will be coming home with your child tomorrow in their folder. This focuses on a new syllable type, which is R-controlled vowels. So students will be learning about the bossy R, which controls the vowel, and they will be learning sounds such as ER, AR, IR, UR, and OR. This week, our trick words will be world, answer, and different. And then finally, in reading, this week we're going to be working on nonfiction books and focusing on text features. We're going to be using one of our science standards to select books, and we will be learning about extreme weather. So students will be learning about hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and lightning. We'll also be tracking the weather and noticing patterns over the next few weeks, which should be really fun because we have a really cold week ahead. So it should be fun to watch the pattern of the temperatures dropping and then potentially rising in the following weeks. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Room 120 News. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. If not, we'll see you right back here next week for another episode of Room 120 News.